In the world of fitness, one of the biggest reasons we hear to not starting a fitness program or to staying on track with that fitness program is that I don't have the motivation. I'm lacking motivation, motivation. But what if the real secret lies in taking action? And you might know this, and I certainly know that I know it, is that some days I'm going, I don't want to do this. But what happens is the minute I just do one thing, I then feel more motivated to do the next thing. So maybe it might be for myself, I go, I don't really feel like this today. I'm just going to do 5 minutes. Once I get over that 5 minutes, I'm starting to feel a little better. And then what I do is maybe do another 5 minutes. And sometimes I'll get through a whole entire workout. And that was simply because I started to cross over this line that says I don't have the motivation and jump into the action zone. So one of my clients I was talking to the other day during a PT session was, I said to her, I know that you struggle with this. I know that sometimes you're really busy, you feel stressed, that you just are tired and you don't feel like doing it. So what do you do? How do you help yourself each and every day? And she came back with this amazing statement, and it says, you have to back yourself and get it done, as no one else will do it for you. I'm in my corner. How powerful is that? And I started to think about this statement in itself. And it really reminded me that we do have everything we need within ourselves. So what I wanted to do today is to break this down. And the first thing that I'm going to explore with you is where she said, back yourself. This is all about self-reliance. This is about you being your own biggest cheerleader. It's trusting yourself, knowing that you have the ability to show up for yourself, even when it does feel tough. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go it alone. You can get support from your family, from your friends, from your fitness community. Those types of things are very invaluable. But if you don't show up, then it doesn't matter who you have on your team. It's still not going to get done. And motivation is still going to be the thing that's holding you back. So what I want you to do today is to take this action step to back yourself. And that is to start each day looking in the mirror, making this commitment to your health and your fitness, and saying, I've got this. I'm going to show up for myself today. Can you do that? Let me know you can, okay? Now, the second thing is that she mentions get it done. Now, this is really action orientated, and that's where it comes from. This motivation comes from taking action. So it's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect mood to strike. The truth is that action will always come before motivation. It doesn't happen the other way around. And the days when you feel least like doing it are often the most important ones. These are the ones that are going to help you build that consistency and that resilience that you need to keep showing up for yourself. So I have an action step in regards to getting it done, and that is to set a non-negotiable. Now, we've talked about non-negotiables in the past in length, and so what I'll do is I'll link you back to that if it's something that you haven't listened to before. Okay, and so I want you to treat this like any other appointment that you put into your calendar. You always show up, right? You make a dentist appointment, you go. You make a doctor's appointment, you go. And so the same applies to your fitness. You make an appointment, you go. It's the commitment to making yourself a priority. Okay, Let's move on to point number 3 from this. And that is, no one else will do it for you. And this is about ownership. Let's face it, my health is my responsibility. It's about me. You know, how I eat, how I exercise. It might be the same fitness program that I'm doing with somebody else, but how my body responds is going to be different to the person next to me. So it's a very personal thing. So as I mentioned earlier, support is fabulous. But what we want to do is make sure that we take ownership for our own health and our own well-being. It's not about pressure at all, but it's about recognizing that you have the power to change this. Nobody else but you. And so my action step for you on this today is to keep a fitness journal. So document your progress, the challenges, your wins, and even if you want to, share your wins with us because we'd love to hear them. This is your personal record that reinforces that it is about you. Now, one of the things that I do every single week when I'm showing up to our Fit Flex programs, so I not only coach them, but I also do these training sessions myself. And so when I show up to these, each time I write down how many reps I got out, how many sets I got out, what size weights I lifted. And I think about then doing it a little bit better the next time that I show up for myself. So in that very next session, I am taking ownership for my progress. Now, the next part of it was, she said, I'm in my corner. And this is about self-support. This is about you being your own advocate. And I often hear ladies going to the doctors as an example, and they're telling me about what the doctor has told them and what's going to happen next. And I'll ask questions about, how do you feel about that? You know, what type of questions did you ask? Are you comfortable with all of this? And it's like, oh, no, I didn't think to ask those questions. So it's really, really important that we do advocate for ourselves in our health, in our well-being, in our fitness, because we want to treat ourselves with the same encouragement and the same understanding that we would any other friend that we have. Okay. It doesn't mean that you need to be easy on yourself. It doesn't mean that you should be tough on yourself either. What it does mean is that you are taking care of yourself and advocating for where you are right now and where you want to be. So here's what I want you to do as far as this action step is concerned. After each workout, take a moment to acknowledge your effort. This is one thing we're really, really bad at, ladies. We don't celebrate what we've done. We just move to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And we need to stop and we need to go, wow, I did a good job here. Or, yes, I did that and I deserve to acknowledge that. And I want you to say it out loud, okay? I'm proud of myself for showing up today. Write it down and show up for it and say it. All right. So let's talk about that again. So rather than each time you're thinking you don't have the motivation, we want to reframe it into action. So we want to also make sure that we understand that taking care of our health is not selfish. It is absolutely necessary. And we know that we're not going to feel motivated every single day. We know we're not going to wake up happy and full of beans and energized every day. Some days we're better than other days. We just need to show up. So here's what I want you to remember. Consistency trumps intensity. So it is these small, regular steps that will build your lasting habits. That your health and fitness journey is unique. It is as unique as what you are. You don't want to compare yourself to somebody else. And the third thing is celebrate all of your victories. Doesn't matter how small they are. Every step forward is a step forward. So by shifting your focus from waiting for motivation to creating it through action, you are going to unlock sustainable and an empowering approach to your health and fitness. And remember this, it does not have to be perfect. It is just about being consistent. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you are going to take up these actions, and I would love for you to celebrate each and every day with me. Just post below. Tell me what you've got done. So remember that your future self will thank you for the steps that you take each and every day. And you have this.